So, hello folks, uh, welcome you all in the continuation of the second series of lecture under the head of network synthesis. So, as per our syllabus, it covers up the course objective or the outcomes of course outcome of module number 4, CO4. So, under the head of this particular topic, as far as our last discussion is concerned, we discussed that the basic properties for the realizing a stable network, or in other words I would say that for realization here means designing a stable network. And to do that, to pursue that, if we assume that at some point of time the transfer function is represented as a impedance function or admittance function, in that case, to realize or to design a stable function, we discuss the four different criteria or methods. Sometimes you are required to remove a pole from the origin. Sometimes you are required to remove a pole from the infinity. Sometimes you are at origin and at the pole. I'm sorry. And then sometimes you are required to remove a complex conjugate pair of poles, and sometimes you are required to remove a constant. This is nothing but it is the reflection of a resistance. So here removal, that means each step you are removing an element, okay, and as you can see the results of a partial fractions, okay, or the Routh-Hurwitz criteria, okay, each time the numerical value of these coefficients should be always positive, so that you can get a stable network. It should never have a negative value. So negative value is the indication of phase reversal, and each time you are getting a phase reversal, it indicates that there is a roots in the right side of the S-plane, which is a clear indication of the unstable system, or the system is leading towards the highly unstable zone, which is practically not suggested. Okay, and we saw that particular technique, that how to do this. Now under the head of today's lecture, we are going to classify our network synthesis, okay, and we will see that how many methods or approach we can have that to synthesize such networks. Okay, so for your information, when we talk about the simplest order of networks among the RLC elements, because the combination of RLC will create a second order equation, and you know that second order equation is not a linear equation. So any transfer function or impedance function that you are going to realize based on the second order equation, that will ultimately adding a non-linearity into the system. So if not, then you are not going to consider the possibility of all the three elements together. Then the next probability is that either you can have a RC element, or you can have a combination of RL elements, or you can have a combination of LC elements. If you are good, that means broadly we can divide into two classes, that is on a reactive combinations and a resistive combination. If you talk about resistive combination, you have a two subclass, that is RL and RC, and whereas you have a reactive combination, you have a combination is LC. So therefore we called LC as a impedance function, whereas the RC or RL combination can be represented as an impedance or admittance function, because any impedance or admittance function has a some finite amount of losses in terms of by due to the participation of the resistive elements. So if you are going to realize the RC impedance function, the dual of the network is RL admittance function. If you are going to realize RL impedance function, then the dual of the function is the RC admittance function. Both has the same impact over the network. It is just the matter of time, and depending on your requirement, that or to for the sake of easiness or the sake of easiness of the design, that which approach you wanted to have it. Once you have fixed it, then okay, under the head of syllabus, you must know that as far as the design and realization of the network synthesis are concerned, the Foster has introduced one approach, and later on the Core has modified and given one more approach, though practically both the scenarios are can be used one after the other, okay, depending on your design requirement. And both the scientist, Foster and the Core, has given two form of the realization for the easiness, so that you can establish a duality property between the RL impedance function and RC admittance function, or the RC impedance function and RL admittance function. So that can be known as Foster form 1 and Foster form 2. In short, we will recognize it as FF1 and FF2. Similarly, we in terms of core also, it has given two proportional realization or upgradation of the Foster method. It is called the core form 1 and core form 2. Or in short, we are going to recognize it as CF1 and CF. Okay, so let us initiate our discussion with the LC impedance function. So remember, under the head of this topic, we are going to continue our discussion with the LC impedance function. You know that this exercise you can also repeat, okay, with the equal amount of steps by satisfying all these criteria for any RC or RL function also, whether it is an impedance or admittance function. So if we assume that right now my given impedance function is actually some combination of a reactive elements, that is a some combination of inductors and capacitors. Let us assume that if this combination is represented in such a way that the mathematically that impedance function can be represented as m1 of s plus n1 of s upon m2 of s plus n2 of s. That means the whole numerator polynomial is going to represent it as in such a way that the real part of that Hurwitz polynomial is greater than or equal to 0, and that combination is equal to m1s plus n1s. Okay, understood? Whereas which is a function of a numerator polynomial. At the same time, denominator polynomial is represented as m2s plus n2s. Now remember, this transfer function should be positive as a part of one port network. Remember, okay? So in this case of the realization of the network, the average power dissipation by the network will be 0 because there is no resistive component. So obviously the power dissipation from the network theoretically is 0. So therefore I can say that the real part of this impedance function z of s when s is equal to j omega, because there is no resistive component, so there is no attenuation, so therefore sigma is equal to 0. Okay, so therefore r of z of s at s is equal to j omega. So if I am going to replace your s is equal to j omega, I am getting the real part of z of j omega, that is the even part of this particular function, which is equal to 0. If it is so, so this s of j is equal to j omega is replaced from the equation number 1, okay, as it is shown. And if you are going to modify this particular transfer function, then from equation number 2, because remember that real part of this function should be equal to 0, so we are removing the imaginary part, the secondary part, as you can see, and the real part we are equating to 0. So the whole denominator is vanished in that case because the right half side is equal to 0. So in that case, m1 j omega into m2 j omega should be equal to n1 j omega plus n2 j omega. Now to satisfy the equation number 2, there can be only two possibilities. Either m1 or n2 should be 0, or n1 and m2 should be 0. Okay, m1 m2 both can't be 0, or n1 n2 both can't be 0. That you have to be noticed. So either your simplified impedance function whenever s is equal to j omega to realize the stable Hurwitz polynomial, whose criteria is that the real part of that your impedance function should be greater than or equal to 0 at s is equal to j omega, can achieve only if either m1 and n2 both are equal to 0, or n1 and n2 both are equal to 0. If it is so, then ultimately the simplified transfer function you are getting either as a ratio of m1s upon n2s, or n1s upon m1s upon n2s, or the m2s n1s upon m2s, right? So to what are the essential conditions to achieve this? So let us see the one by one. One of the essential condition is that this ratio of n1 by m2 or m1 by n2 is even to odd, or odd to even polynomials. Okay, please be noted. Then number 2, this combination or the ratio of n1 by n2 or m1 by n2 has a pole or 0 of impedance function on the imaginary plane. So all the poles or zeros will exist over the imaginary plane. The poles and 0, okay, interfaced at j omega axis. Okay, so the poles and zeros should interface the x of j omega of the imaginary axis. So sometimes it should pass through the j omega axis at some particular frequency. Let's say that frequency is omega 1 or omega 2 or some values. Fine. So in this way, if you see that the highest and as well as the lowest power of the numerator and the denominator difference, you can have it only the difference of 1. So remember, at the last lecture we have been noticed that the difference of n1 n minus m should be equal to 0, right? So if you look at the conditions to meet that particular requirement, whenever you have a LC impedance function, how will you able to know? So that immutance function, the signature or the characteristic of those kind of immutance function is that number one, the ratio of it must have a ratio of even to odd or odd to even. That means whenever you are compare with the numerator to denominator and the denominator to numerator. And if numerator has the odd number of polynomials, then the denominator will have a even number of polynomials. Or if the numerator have even number of polynomials or coefficients, I would say, then in that case the denominator would have odd number of polynomials. Ultimately, the difference between 2n minus 1 will be you are getting 1, the highest and the lowest pair. Fine, that is number one, signature. Number two, the uh, roots at the origin, that is whenever you will apply s is equal to 0, and at the roots at the infinity, whenever you apply s is equal to infinity, that means I am talking about the critical frequencies. Okay, the roots which is defining the critical frequency of that particular network function is always present. Okay, whether it is a 0 or whether it is a pole. So that means the critical frequency will be always there. Okay, and that can be a component of a 0 or can be a component of a pole. Either or possibility is there. For an example, there is a transfer function given for our understanding. Okay, it is equal to k of s into s square plus 8 in the numerator upon in the denominator s square plus 3 into s square plus 5. Okay, now you try to realize this transfer function, find out, apply the Hurwitz polynomial whether it is stable or not. Then you try to identify that whether it has a imaginary pair of the poles or not. Okay, and then you try to simplify the network, and finally you try to identify that whether it's a LT impedance function or not. Okay, you have a 10 minutes of time. So as you can appreciate, you see that it satisfies the condition of the number one, that the difference between the highest and the lowest numerator and denominator, highest and lowest order coefficient is difference is 1. If you see the numerator, the highest order is s raised to 3. If you see denominator, highest order it is s raised to 4. Right? If you see the lowest order of in denominator, it is s raised to 2, whereas in case of lowest order of the numerator is s raised to 1. So the difference between the two is always 1. It satisfies that. Number two, if you are going to establish this in this function, it is clearly shown that there is a 0 which exists at is equal to 0, because k is equal to 0, so s is equal to 0. Fine, that is a critical frequency of defining critical frequency of this particular transfer function. Okay, so it should be noted that this transfer function or this kind of LC impedance function, okay, doesn't have a poles at the origin. Fine, because the separation property doesn't hold seat. Understood? Because if I will modify this transfer function in denominator in a way that it is s into s square plus 3 into s square plus 5, then your numerator and denominator s at the origin will cancel each other. Okay, that will not satisfy the two signature essential signatures or three essential conditions to define the characteristic of any LC impedance function. So this you can say that is from the gate point of view, you can say that, or any competitive examination point of view. Okay, it is a short signature that there is no pole at the origin as far as the LC impedance functions are concerned. Be noted this, because you will compare this characteristic with any RC or RL functions at the later stage. Okay. Okay. So let us talk about the different forms what we are going to use to realize this kind of network. So still under the head of our topic, we are going to consider the LC impedance function. That means all the elements of the network is some kind of combination of inductance and capacitance. There is no role of resistance in this kind of network. Okay. Then how to apply the Foster form 1 to realize this particular kind of network. Okay. So what Foster form says that if a function is given as an impedance function, so we are assuming that the function is given as an impedance function z of s, then the partial fraction of z of s is represented as follows. So let's say if it is z of s is equal to k naught by s plus twice k2 s upon s square plus omega 2 square plus twice k2 k4s upon s square plus omega 4 square. So for your simplicity, I am considering all the even values. Okay, or you can say, okay, because you have considered the zeroth order, then the second order coefficient, fourth order coefficient, and so on till the infinite. Understood? So obviously, if it is this is the fashion, by which you apply a partial fraction over the given n and l order polynomial, n order polynomial in the numerator and n order polynomial in the denominator. We apply the partial fraction expansion, and then we realize this transfer function in easiest way in this form by factorizing it. In this case, k naught by s is representing what? Is capacitance, right? And the value of this capacitance is equal to 1 upon k naught. Then twice k2s upon s square plus omega 2 square is representing what? Removal of a pair of conjugate poles, right? So in this case, the value of L is equal to twice k upon omega square, and C is equal to 1 upon twice k. So for twice k2, the value of L2 I am assuming is twice k2 upon omega 2 square, and C2 is equal to 1 upon twice k2. Okay, and these two combination of LC is a parallel tuning network which is connected in cascade with the zero order network. So you are getting a summation property. Similarly, same thing you can apply for all the even harmonics. Okay, k4, k6, so and so till the infinity, and at infinity what you are getting, k infinite into s. So don't you think that k infinite at s is the reflection of L of s? So that means the value of L is replaced by the coefficient that is equal to k infinite. Understand? Since all the poles of LC impedance functions lies on the j omega axis, I repeat, since all the poles of the LC impedance functions are lies on the imaginary axis, because no pole exists at the origin, by applying the partial fraction, we can remove the pole, okay, simultaneously. We can remove all that one after other pole simultaneously. Understood? So let us try to understand this with an example. So I would suggest that there is a transfer function given z of s, that is s square plus 3 into s square plus 5 upon, in the denominator it s into s square plus 4 into s square plus 6. I would suggest that you apply the Foster form 1 to realize or to simplify this particular transfer function. Okay. I hope that you have done it. So if you see that if you are going to realize this transfer function, it can becomes in the order of k naught by s plus twice k2 s upon s square plus 4, and then you remember there is three different combination in the denominator. So you are getting three different pairs. So one is k naught by s, plus second is k2 twice k2 s upon s square plus omega 2 square, and third is twice k 4s subscript 4s upon s square plus omega 4 square. Okay. So it is replaced by k naught by s. Second one is twice k2s upon s square plus 4. Third is twice k4s upon s square plus 6. Now from here you can apply the partial fraction rule and simply find out the value of k naught, k2 and k4. To find out the value of k naught, I am assuming that the whole transfer function is now multiplied by s, and because it exists at the origin, so I am applying s is equal to 0 over the transfer function. So it is multiplying by s, so that means it will remove this particular component, that is the pole exists at the origin, and remaining s is equal to 0. So from there you are getting k naught is equal to 5 by 8. Similarly, to find out the value of this twice k2, I am assuming that you are comparing this whole transfer function at, okay, applying at s square is equal to minus 4. So if we apply so s square minus 4, it will leads to infinity, so it will away, okay, it will vanish from the participation of the partial fraction exponential as per the rule. So this twice k2s is equal to, by applying this property at z is equal to s square is equal to minus 4. So from there you are getting twice k2s is equal to 1 by 8. So therefore, in other words, what you can say, you can have the value of twice k2 and 1 upon twice k2. Okay, that is twice k2. Okay, then third is similarly you can find out the value of twice k4s. Okay, that you are getting 1 by s 4 of s or s by 4, and there twice k2s you are getting s by 8. So therefore twice k2 is equal to 1 by 8 and twice k4 is equal to 1 by 4. Obviously we can get the value of k2 and k4, but remember that our values parallel tuning network are represented in terms of twice of k. So there is a no sense of doing that exercise. So from there you can get the value of C naught. C naught is equal to how much? It is 1 upon k naught. So if k naught is equal to 5 by 8, so your C naught is equal to 8 by 5 farad. Similarly, twice k2 is equal to your from there your is equal to 1 by C2, or C is equal to 1 upon twice k2. So your C2 is equal to 8 farad. Similarly, C4 is equal to 1 upon twice k4. So it is you are getting C4 is equal to 4 farad. L4 is equal to twice k2 upon omega 2 square, right? So now from here, can I get the value of omega? How will you get it? Yes. How will you get it? So you can get the value of omega once you have to get the value of C. Okay. So you know that we are twice K2S upon this whole function is nothing but it is equal to realization of the parallel LC network. Okay. So you are yes. So the value of A2 is equal to K2 or K4 is equal to so for example K2 it is 1 upon twice root over of LC or it is L4. So in this scenario, you can get the value of omega 2. Similarly, by applying over the second twice K4 component, you can get the value of omega 4. So from here, you are getting the value of omega 2 is equal to 4 radian per second. So omega square is equal to 4 radian per second and omega 4 square is equal to 6 radian per second. So you apply there and from there you are getting 1 by 32 and 1 by 24 Henry. Okay. So these numerical calculations are with you and if you are going to substitute this value, I would suggest that you use these properties elements and arrange your simplified network of Foster form 1. So if you see the first value of C naught, I'm sorry, I would assume that it is of 5 by 8 by 5 farad because K naught is equal to 5 by 8. So C naught you must get 1 by K, that is 1 by K naught. So it is 8 by 5 farad. You connect this in cascade with the combination of twice K2 S by S square plus 4. So from this fraction you are getting the combination of L2 and C2. The value of L2 you are getting 1 by 32 Henry and the C2 you are getting 8 farad. So these two will form a parallel combination of L2 C2 network, LC network, and another pair of parallel form tune network combination of L4 C4 you are getting the value of 1 by 24 Henry and 4 farad, right? So that's how I hope that you are able to understanding that how you can form a apply the Foster form 1 to realize practically the impedance function network to simplify or to design or to synthesize the electrical or electronic networks, okay, in form of the parallel LC network. Okay. So let us continue with the Foster form 2. If it is so, it Foster form 1, then what is the realization of Foster form 2? So remember, as far as the core form and Foster forms are concerned, 1 and 2 are complementing or satisfying the duality property of each other. Okay, like the impedance function and admittance function, like the inductance and capacitance, whenever they apply the duality properties. Okay, so in a impedance function, if the impedance function is defined in form of Foster form 1 or is realized, I would say, in form of Foster form 1, then the same impedance dual of the impedance function that the admittance function can be realized with the help of Foster form 2. Okay, so Foster form 2 ff2 is nothing but it is the dual of ff1. Let us see whether we are able to satisfy this requirement or not, or whether we will able to satisfy this statement or not. So now I am going to represent the typical admittance function y of s, where which is nothing but it is 1 by z of s. So is represented in this way, like it is k naught by s plus twice k2s upon s square plus omega 2 square, and all the even harmonic combinations at the imaginary pair of the poles, and the last 0 which is exist at the infinity k infinite s. Okay, so only did what we did rather than impedance function, now we consider the admittance function. In that case, you see your all the odd components frequencies omega 1 omega 3, okay, or you can say that omega twice n minus 1, okay, are known as your internal zeros, whereas all the even functions omega 2 omega 4 are nothing but are represented as internal pole. Internal means inherited poles of that particular transfer function are representing. Okay, now in this transfer function, if you see over here as compared to the Foster form 1, what we have realized, okay, this k naught by s, because if it is admittance function, in case of admittance function, k naught by s is representing what? An inductance, where the value of inductance is equal to 1 by K naught, right? So your L is equal to 1 by K naught Henry. So obviously the L in case of admittance function which has the value of 1 upon K naught is the dual of the capacitance in the impedance function by the same magnitude 1 by K naught farad. Similarly, at infinity, there you see that you got a capacitance, right? Sorry, is the inductance in case of first form 1. So here what you will get? K naught, K infinite S. So numerator, S in the numerator represents the capacitance as far as the admittance function is concerned. So it is going to represent your capacitance by K infinite farad, okay, which is the dual of the impedance function. Similarly, twice K2 S upon S square of omega square is, in case of first form 1, it is the parallel LC network. So the dual of this is equal to series LC network in such a way that value of L is equal to the value of C in case of a impedance function, that is 1 upon twice K2 Henry, whereas the value of C is the value of L in case of impedance function, that is twice K2 upon omega 2 square. So in this way, if I will satisfy these all requirement, how you can represent? I can represent that there is a initially a inductance which is applied across of the value of 1 upon K naught Henry. Then all the even harmonics is the series combination of L2 C2 network, okay, and finally it is terminated by a capacitance in at the infinity, okay. Just reverse of that. In that case, all are connected in cascade in series. Here all are connected across the shunt. Fine. So I hope that you are able to got the point. Let us see, try to realize one problem and apply the first order form over that particular form. Okay. So you see that now the same problem is given, because in previous problem we consider an application where that synthesized network is represented by a impedance transfer function of s raised to s square plus 3 upon s square plus 5 upon, in the denominator it was s into s square plus 4 and s square plus 6. So therefore the admittance function will be reverse of the impedance function. So now it is s into s square plus 4 into s square plus 6 upon s square plus 3 into s square plus 5. So you can appreciate here that in this admittance function there is a no pole at the origin and where there is a 0 at the origin. Now I would suggest that open up this partial fraction, and because in impedance function what you have done, you arrange the impedance function from the lowest order to the highest order. So in admittance function what I will suggest, do the reverse exactly. You arrange your numerator and denominator polynomial from the highest order to the lowest order, okay, and whether you see that the difference of 2 is equal to 1 or not. Yes, it is 1. Whether the origin consists of a pole like the impedance function, no. Here the origin doesn't consist of a pole, rather than origin consists of 0. So exactly reverse of the scenario. Apply this. I am giving you 10 minutes of time. Realize the network. So if you see the transfer function in terms of the admittance function, and if you apply the first form 2, your y of s is first simplified as s plus, that is y1 of s. So y1 of s is equal to s plus y2, whereas y2 is equal getting twice s cube plus 9s upon s raised to 4 plus 8 raised to square plus 15 into s raised to 0. So if you are going to simplify this as projected in equation number 2, as per my solution, you are getting s plus twice k2s upon s square plus 3 plus twice k4s upon s square plus 5. Substitute, apply the partial fraction rule, try to find out the value of k0, k2 and k4. Okay. So if you do that, the value of k2 and k4, I hope twice k2 you are getting 3 by 2 into s, and twice k4 I must see that you are getting 3 by 2 of s again. Okay. Twice k4, I'm sorry, you are getting 1 by 2 of s, and in this way the k0 you are getting your 1 by 1, that is equal to 1 farad, right? And the rest of the two networks you can find out, substitute the value of L2 and the C2 over here. Your C2 is equal to twice K2 upon omega 2 square, and L2 is equal to 1 upon twice K2, L4 is equal to 1 upon twice K4, and C4 is equal to twice K4 upon omega 4 square. So from there you can get the value of omega 4 and omega 2 also, once you got the value of your L2 and L4. Substitute these values. So from here L2 you must get 2 by 3 Henry, C2 you must get half of the farad, C4 you must get 0.1 farad, and L4 I think you should get 2 farad. So apply in this particular order. Okay. So remember that this 4, how it is arranged. One, you are getting your initially s. So s in numerator is at the infinity as far as the y admittance functions are, LC admittance functions are concerned in terms of the admittance function. So if you are doing that, in that case s is representing at the infinity. Fine. So that is the nothing but it is a capacitance in case of admittance function. So and value of this particular capacitance is equal to 1 farad. So I would advise that you rearrange in the reverse way and represent your admittance function practically in a correct approach as I have demonstrated in the bottom. Okay, so be very careful about that. Okay, so I hope that you are able to develop your understanding. I would insist that you should approach some more practice problems to bring the more clarity into it. And in the next lecture, we are going to continue with the RC impedance function and RL admittance function and the vice versa. Okay, thank you.